Hey, I'm Melissa Scrooge and I'm tattooing since 2015 now, and I am part of the Grimm family. My first 3 to 4 tattoos, I guess, I did with foil machine, and that was fine because I didn't know anything else. But I realized it was really heavy because I have there's not that much muscle over there, and that's why it's hard to hold it and stuff. And of course, it's more shaky than a Cheyenne machine, for example. But I didn't have anything to compare with that, so that was fine for me. And then I met Felix, and Felix were like, well, I work with Cheyenne, so you can work with Cheyenne, you can also work with coil if you want to. And I'm like, I have no clue of coil, I have no clue of Cheyenne, so I go with Cheyenne because you know about it, so that's the logical reason. But to be honest, the first couple of times I worked with Cheyenne, it was like, that's pretty nice. It's like so handy. It's like some people always say click and play, and that's kind of nice. Of course, I have a lot of respect, and I can feel a lot of people, and tattoo artists especially, which are saying, you have to understand your machine, you have to build it up, you have to have a lot of honor for this kind of old machines and stuff, and the way everything developed. It was the start, you can't just ignore that. But to be honest, to understand how a machine works, that's not my kind of stuff. So I honor it, but I don't see it in my everyday life, and that's why I'm really happy with Cheyenne stuff. At first I bought the Spirit, and then Felix told me how to, at which level you need to put it, so you can do lines or shadings or fillings, and everything really slow in the beginning. And then pretty fast I were like, I don't know, like shading and stuff is pretty cool, but I don't feel like there's enough power for anything else. And you were like, okay, that's the moment you buy Thunder. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. Yeah, and we did. I really like the Thunder for doing lines because, to be honest, I don't do really thick lines. Like, I guess the thickest one is probably 11 I do, which is thicker than a lot of other people would do with Cheyenne. But I really like it. I just really like it. I guess the first one was not a Cheyenne because I couldn't afford it back in the days, and I just take one other, which were there, and you always have to plug it out and in, and that sucks so bad. And then this Cheyenne model, I could afford it finally, and then it's just like, click, and that's awesome. I always start with waterlines. I do with the Thunder. And after this is finished, I do all the black parts with the Spirit, and all, basically I work from dark to light. I don't have to develop my machine to develop my style, because my machine is basic, it stays the same. That's for me a very plus of the Cheyenne, because I am not afraid to do something wrong with the machine. I'm just afraid that I have the wrong technique to use it, but I don't need to figure out how fast the hammer has to be or whatever. This is something you can't do wrong, actually. I really like the round liner, for example, because I started to do bigger lines, 11 or more 11, because I use 3, 5, 9, sometimes 7, but 9. But now I don't use a 9 anymore because I feel like I need thicker lines. And then I started to use 11, which is for me a bit too much for the skin with that pressure of the Thunder. So I tried around and I started to use a round liner, a 7, and this was a game changer for me because it works pretty well for me. That's so good. And sometimes I just want to start, and that's why I was just like, okay, let's try a round liner, and that was pretty nice. And also I really like the small magnums, 5 or something. I don't know, they're handy. You can do some bigger parts with them, but you can also do you come in the edges and stuff, and that's really nice for the workflow. You don't have to change the needle so often. This is what I really like. And of course my absolutely favorites are the 3 round liner 0.25, because they are the tiniest little needle you can use beside the one.